just in case we need to do a restart. Just in case. So we're going to start a little bit early today, and we got a really big show. Really big show. Let me see if I can find it here on my iPad and make sure that we've got good audio. We do. So we're going to have, we got good audio, so we have time to have a little bit of a pregame show. I allowed time for a restart, which we're not going to have to do. And what we're going to talk about is 15 most elegant watches. This video here by Sartorial, I can't say that word, talks, Sartorial talks, anyway, however you say that, fine clothing, okay? He talks about fine clothing. I subscribe to Hugo's channel, and he talks about fine clothing, shoes, all that kind of good stuff. But he did this video talking about watches, the 15 most elegant watches, and I thought that we would comment on these watches. Very, very nice picks. A lot of them I agree with. A lot of his picks I agree with. And since he always wears a lot of really cool... Oh, boy. I got to drink something. Boy. Something in my throat. Okay, so since he talks about a lot of cool clothing, I figured I'd pull out this wild sport coat, this wild blue sport coat. And this is by, let's see here, it came from Neiman Marcus. This is, of course, Oxford clothes. And we talk a lot about Oxford, OXXFORD. And this is an oldie but a goodie and kind of flashy. And he wears some kind of flashy stuff sometimes. And a lot of his clothing is bespoke clothing, and probably the vast majority of it. A lot of high-end stuff. And so he talks about some watches, and he starts on the kind of lower end and goes up to the stratosphere. And so it's a really cool video. And he prefaces it by saying he's really not a watch guy, but he's had a lot of people asking about watches and so forth. So he figured he would do this video. And it's a lot of fun. The video is a lot of fun. Carlos is in the house, and Carlos's watch is on the list. The 5196 is on the list. That jacket is way too light for the tie. Yeah, I should have selected a different tie. I actually picked this tie because it has a blue line in it that you really can't, it's really not picking up on the camera. There's a fine blue line that pretty much matches this color, but the camera does funny things with colors, and so it's not really working that well on camera, but in person it looks pretty good. So there's that. Okay, so yeah, all right. So let's get to the video. Let's not beat around the bush. We have time for a pregame show, but we might as well just get into it, because most people watch after the fact anyway, tell you the truth. So, the list of watches, the first watch that he's going to talk about, oh boy, let me pull this up, get this list here in front of me, give me a second, and yeah, let me pull that up so I can get to it easily. Okay, so Nomos Glashutte, okay, this is, and there's a Ludwig collection. And Steve actually is a dealer for these, and that was interesting. So let me go to the first watch in the discussion. I should be able to click on the timestamp. Let me see here. Okay, here's the timestamp. So if I go to 2:46 in the video,
I'm going to look with you at the same time on my Macintosh, and it's a Nomos Glashutte called the Ludwig. And look at this watch. It's a beautiful, simple watch.
Okay, so that's the first watch that he talks about on the channel. And, I mean, it's a very interesting watch for an affordable watch and so forth. I typically don't like that style where the lugs kind of just go straight off the case like that. It almost looked like they were welded on. I like, again, a more flowing, where they flow into the case more. But some people like that style, and if they like that style, obviously it's a very clean, very elegant look. I mean, that's what he is kind of, that's what he's kind of looking for in his watches, is something that's very elegant that you can wear with the suit and so forth. So there's the first watch, and definitely interesting. Okay, so let's click on the second one. Second one is a Cartier Tank Solo. So let's go to that one.
Solo. And we selected this rectangular, very Art Deco watch simply because it's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. The design is very interesting, very sober, but at the same time, it's sober and discreet, but it's also a stylistic statement.
And I agree. I think it's a stunner. I think it's a stunner. Let me say.
When you wear a watch
right
like that,
there. Okay, let me stop there. I think it's a stunner. I think absolutely. And you can buy these sometimes reasonably. And of course, I would want one in 18 karat yellow gold if I was going to grab one. I'm not a square watch guy, but absolutely, if you like that, then absolutely, positively, the Cartier. All right, so let's go to his third choice. Like I say, I mean, he doesn't really make any bad selections here. Here's the third one.
Is, of course, a dress watch, and as you can see, it's called the Ville Prestige watch. It's a coaxial watch. I don't know what it means, but it's certainly beautiful. But if you look at the watch itself, all the watches we selected have pretty much the same kind of feeling, vibration. You know, a dress watch, very simple, not many complications.
And I like that. But let's stop it right there. And I like that one right there, absolutely. Now again, I like lugs that flow more into the case as opposed to being squared off into the case like that. But again, some people like that lug design, and if you do, I'm not going to hold that against you. It's kind of a cool dress watch, and of course I would want yellow gold. But he's rolling along, and hey, that's another one you could buy from Steve at Little Treasury. All right, so let's go into the next one. And now, guess what? We got Grand Seiko from the Elegance collection.
SBGK007. Does it ring a bell, 007? It rings a bell, of course, James Bond. And because this very watch has been worn by Sean Connery and Roger Moore in the 1960s and 70s.
Now, of course, I would pick the 002, which I'm wearing on wrist right now. I would pick the 002 in a heartbeat. But that one that he's showing is also very, very nice, and I'm sure would look very good on wrist. And again, they look a lot better in person than these renderings that Grand Seiko. That's a rendering basically that he got from Grand Seiko, and they look a lot better in real life than that rendering will ever allow them to look. And I believe that model also comes in yellow gold. I believe it does, and I think Steve has that model in stock. In stock, by the way, in stock. Okay, so let's see what the next watch is on the list. See what the next watch is, and that is a Jager Lecoultre Reverso. Okay, so let's do the
watch.
Reverso.
Of course, I'm talking about, you probably guessed it already, and I'm going to show it to you now. It's the Reverso, but the classic medium size, because you know the Reverso can be in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. So I think the medium size has a perfect proportion according to my taste. And I choose to select in this selection the duo face. That is to say, because you can have the Reverso means that you can literally revert the watch. But some have no watch on the other side. This one is a duo face. That is to say, you have on one side the white.
Okay, and he's going to talk about this. And I've got the link to this video in the description, so please do go watch the entire video. But he's going to talk about this in some more detail. I like the Reverso that you reverse and it doesn't have a watch face on the other side. I like the one where you reverse it and it's just the back of a watch, right? And so you do that if you're in a situation where you would harm the watch, like you're playing polo or whatever, right? You reverse the watch so that it doesn't get damaged. I like that. I think that's cool. I think that's the whole purpose of having a Reverso. I think they're cool. Would I buy and wear one? No, but a lot of people love them, and they are super cool looking. They're kind of retro looking. They're kind of like, what do you call that 1930s style? That the Chrysler building is and everything. Now it's escaping me, but you know the style that I'm talking about. Art Deco. It's kind of that style. So very, very elegant. Okay, so let's look at the next watch on the list. And that is a Blancpain. Okay, and let's go look at that.
ultra thin watch in stainless steel. That is to say, not extremely expensive, I mean. As far as now we are stepping into the world of luxury, but still, I think it's a little bit under $10,000. But it's a Blancpain, and look at this beauty. It's simple, it's nothing fancy, but it's very elegant. And this, with any kind of business suit or even a black tie, will work absolutely perfectly.
Very nice.
So watch.
Very nice. That's a nice looking watch. That's a nice looking watch, and I like the kind of squat lugs on it. But I would like them to taper into the case more. But yeah, I think that's another nice selection on his part. And yes, so let's look at the next watch.
This watch that I love, and I'm going to show it to you now, it's a Tonda, Parmigiani Tonda 1950, because it's probably a replica or something with the vibration of the 1950s, and you can feel it. I'm born in 1963, so I didn't live the 1950s, but my father did. And when I look at old pictures of this era, you can tell that this watch has something from this era.
Now
with
that,
this
look at those
little
lugs.
bit thicker
They just look like the
needles. It's a
002.
beautiful watch. Nothing to say. We're going to show you different
Very
model,
similar.
different version of it. The first time I saw it
one
in
in
real life
particular,
was
the
at the
lugs
wrist
look
of my
very
friend
much
Luca
like the
Rubinacci.
002
We were
lugs.
visiting him with Sonia in
See how they
Milano
taper into the case very nicely?
3 or 4 years ago to discover the new Rubinacci
That one right there.
store.
That's stunning. That is stunning, folks. See? Very, very similar case design. Very similar. He's doing good so far. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Okay, here's the next one.
Sons. And it's a very famous brand, normally producing extremely refined and watches with a lot of complication. It's a very, very high level brand. But the one I choose, I didn't know when I chose it, I really, really was in awe in front of this watch. I didn't know that the model I'm going to show you it to you now is called the Saxonia Thin. So thin because it's a very thin watch, and as you can see in pink gold for once, because I think this watch is really magnified with the gold. This watch, as you can see, is the most simple watch you can dream of. Nothing, two needles, nothing else.
Very nice.
Simplicity pushed to it, paroxysm
Again, I like
of
the lug
simplicity
design on
almost.
mine better.
And I didn't.
But okay, let's keep going. That's still a very nice pick. He's doing really good. Now here's a Breguet.
So I selected the Breguet Classic that you can see now. Why do I love this watch? Is because look at it. It doesn't remind you like a pocket watch? You know, the one of your grandfather maybe? So it's a wristwatch, but it has this feeling of the 1920, 1930. And I remember I have one watch from my grandfather,
See, again,
and
there's
even
kind of
another
lugs
one
that
from my great grandfather.
I don't really like
And
okay, so let's
they look
pause
like
this.
this.
Let's go to the next watch on the list. Vacheron. Okay, let's look at this one.
42,
This
of
is going
course
to be
not.
elegant.
It's a watch from now. It's a new watch, but it's a re-edition of a watch they produced in 1942. It's a little bit different this time. It's still a round, very beautiful and classic watch, but this one has a little bit of color. Three different colors. You know, this kind of the dial has a kind of ivory gray dial with a blue needle, a little bit of red even in the middle. It's a little bit more daring, a little bit I would say a little bit maybe more sporty than the other one, but it's beautiful. The proportions are incredible, and that's a fantastic watch. So, watch number 10, Vacheron Constantin, the historical triple calendar from 1942. Now we move to watch number 11, and of course, we can't speak about timepieces, we can't speak about dress watch without speaking about Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe is an institution in the world of watchmaking. I remember I was very touched by advertisement, and believe me, it's rare
Okay,
that
gotta
I
pause this
find
again because I don't want to play this whole
been
video. But
waited for
let's go
since a
past the
long, long time.
Vacheron.
We're going to speak about
Let's go to the
timepieces or
Patek, the
watches. The
5196.
is the most classic one. This is for me probably the quintessential round dress watch called the Calatrava. I do it slowly because I have a tendency of say Calavatra. No, it's Calatrava. And the one I adore that you can see now is the 5196G. And look at this watch. I mean,
To me, the crown is too small.
it speaks for itself. It's
it
beautiful, it's well
is to
balanced,
me.
it's discreet, and it's really breathes quality and luxury. Beautiful, beautiful watch. I have no
wonder how
idea of
tricky
the
it is
price.
to
It's
buy.
around 15,000, maybe between 15 and 20,000, depending on the
Beautiful
material.
piece, though.
Patek Philippe, Calatrava.
Beautiful piece. Timeless piece. Beautiful piece. The Patek, the 5196, the Carlos watch. And F.P.Journe. Let's see what this is.
It's called the Chronometre Souverain. Literally the sovereign chronometer. Look at this marvel. You can see it's very coherent. Huh? It's once again a round watch, simple. This one has two complications, so it's F.P.Journe, of course. It's an amazing watch. But still, you see the style remains discreet because when you wear a watch of that caliber, of that level,
I like those lugs better
some
than a lot
people,
of the other
well,
watches.
I mean, it's the way I look at it. I don't have the truth, of course, on that. But I've seen so many people wearing massive watches, you know, and
pause
trying to show their
Not
watch.
sure I like the clown-like dial, but it's okay. All right, let's see what's next. Let's see what's next. This is something funny. I don't even know what this is. Here we go.
I hope I pronounce it well. Rexhep, Rexhepi. And Rexhepi is a very interesting young man because he's still a very young man. Can you believe this? Artisan, when I think he worked for Patek Philippe and then he worked for F.P.Journe, and in his early 20s, that is, I think he was 21-year-old when he was managing many people at Patek Philippe. So it's a kind of, everybody look at this young man as the future of independent watchmaking, and look at the timepieces he is crafting. And my favorite is this one. It's called Chronometre Contemporain. I love this name again. Look at this. Well, I don't have to say much. You can see it's classic, but with a twist. It's very, very high level watchmaking, but with some kind of new wind. It's beautiful, and I can't resist to show you also the one with the black
wouldn't be
dial.
high on the list
Look
for
at
me.
that.
It wouldn't be high on the list, but it looks okay. Those lugs are pretty large, actually. Okay, so let's go to the next one on the list. Here we go. This is cool. This is a
Laurent
cool
Ferrier is a man. He was the head designer of Patek Philippe for like 30 and plus years, and he decided when he retired to continue crafting the watch according to his vision of watchmaking. I like Laurent Ferrier because he's a humble man, and the watch he's crafting are absolutely gorgeous, very, very, very high level, the high end, literally. And what I like in the watch that I'm going to show you now, that I had the chance, the pleasure, the honor to wear for almost 2 years, it's called a Galet Classique Tourbillon double spiral. So don't ask me what a tourbillon double spiral is. I know it's an extreme complication, but what I love in this watch, first of all, it's beautifully done, beautifully finished, it's fantastic, but is that there's a tourbillon double spiral. As far as I understand, it's a very high level complication, but this tourbillon is not on the front of the dial, it's on the back of the dial. So I like this approach.
Okay, I'm going to pause.
You have a piece of
pause this because you guys can watch the whole video. The link is in the description. But that's a stunner. Now here,
you now.
The amazing.
And guess what?
Final.
The name of this watch is a summary of everything we just said during all this selection, because the name of this watch is Simplicity. And when you look at this watch, I've seen, I know nobody have been looking at this watch. I didn't touch this watch. I never had the honor to touch it or even to see it in person.
Look how long those lugs are.
Because it's pretty much unfindable now. But this watch is, for me, the epitome of elegance and discretion. There's nothing to say. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
Today,
I want to go back. I'm going to show you the one that I think is the nicest on the list, by far. this one that he was
Laurent
wearing.
Ferrier is a man.
By
He was
far the nicest.
the head designer of Patek Philippe for like 30 and plus years, and he decided when he retired to continue crafting the watch according to his vision of watchmaking. I like Laurent Ferrier because he's a humble man, and the watch he's crafting are absolutely gorgeous, very, very, very high level, the high end, literally. And what I like in the watch that I'm going to show you now, that I had the chance, the
Stunning.
pleasure,
Look at that.
the
Look
honor
at that
to wear
watch.
for almost
Look at that watch. Oh, let me
2 years.
try to
It's
pause
called
it right there. I mean, that is stunning. I'd like to see some full shots of the whole thing, and I'd like to know the dimensions. And I'm not a Roman numerals guy, right? But that thing is stunning. That thing is absolutely stunning. But I'll tell you what, as Archie would say, I have to be honest with you. I have to be honest with you. I think the 002 trumps them all. I think the stunning 002 trumps them all. Look here. Whoops, let's get that in focus. Look at that. I think it trumps all of them, folks. I think it trumps all of those watches. Now, please, if you're watching after the fact or whatever, be sure to watch the full video. The link is in the description. It's entertaining. It's great watching. And do subscribe to his channel. And if you feel the urge, become a Patreon. He's supported in large part by the Patreons on his channel. So do that. Okay, let me go through. The crown is fine on design on mine. I'm sure it looks okay. To me, it seems like it'd be harder to grip. Mine has a nice, large, it's pretty easy to grip it, to wind it. I think it's significantly larger, see, than the one on the Patek. See the size of that crown? So it seems like it'd be easier to wind, but maybe not. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. They could have hacking, but I think that is a watch for not daily use and is not important for that use. Okay, Carlos. I wouldn't say it works. I wouldn't say it works, rather it sells. The movement is way too delicate, but still stunning watch. If they update the movement, it's 10 out of 10. Well, also, I don't like the Triforce Switch. I don't like the way they look from the sides. From the side, how that's kind of like that flat side to it, the way the side is not all. From the top, it looks great, the 5196. But from the side, I would want it rounded off like some of the other Patek models are, where it's all rounded off. I think they could change that too, and they could make it perfect. A few little tweaks that the 5196 could be perfect. Of course, it needs to be about 38.5 mils. It needs to be that size too, I think. So probably better just to go with the 002. The perfect watch already exists. It's got a much better movement, prettier case. The whole thing is nicer all the way around. Probably the way to go, just go with an 002. Now, in my defense, I did not know about the 002 when I recommended that Carlos buy the 5196. If I'd have known about the 002 at that point, I would have said, hey, don't pass go, just buy the 002. But I didn't know about it at that time. So, in my defense, let's see, the Cartier Santos should be on that list. Okay, and my point is that if any other company did what Patek did, they would be skewed. Okay, I hear you on the movement, yeah. Lances in the house, it's elegant but also sporty. And Carlos, not sure how delicate really is, but for sure that piece transmit you that it is a delicate thing. That's, I can't imagine why it's so delicate, but maybe it is. I mean, they're all saying it, but just because everybody says it on the watch forums and on YouTube and everything doesn't make it true. I think the only way you would know for sure, Carlos, is if you wear that thing quite a bit and see how well it holds up. Just test it. I think it'll hold up okay. I'd be shocked if it won't hold up, but maybe they're right. Let's see, Carlos, I put on my wrist a part of that VC patrimony. Lange, okay, 18, okay, very classic, and my heart drove me that. Okay, and Jaden says, yes, O2 gets the vote. There you go. Triforce Rich Craig, the simplicity is 34 mil or 37 millimeter, depending on the model. Yeah, I would go with the 37 mil then, for sure. To say the 002 is better than simplicity as well, for Carlos, I will try to be nice. Oh my gosh, yes, it's not a close call. This blows the simplicity out of the water, out of the water. This has the freaking spring drive, man. This has the spring drive. Not even a close call. This is a heavy use, stunning dress watch. Absolutely, it trumps all of them for a heavy use, everyday use dress watch. Now, I'm not talking about box watches on this channel. We never talk about box watches, okay? Some watches are very good in a box. I grant them that. I give them that all day long. But I always talk on this channel with regard to a watch that you're actually going to wear and use, okay? That you're actually going to wear and use. And you want, if you got a decent sized wrist, you want the 38.5 mil size. You want a rugged movement like the spring drive movement. You want accuracy, which is what the spring drive is going to give you. And you want something that's absolutely stunning, that looks absolutely stunning on wrist with an absolutely stunning deployant clasp. That's what you want. That's the kit that you want for heavy everyday use. And that's what you get when you get an 002. That's what you get when you get an 002. And you can't get that anywhere else. You can't get it. There's no other watch that can deliver that kit to you. So that's how that works. Let's see here. The 002 evokes a lot of sport watch design elements in regards to form factor. I would call it, yeah, an all-around heavy use stunner. That's what I would call the 002. I was talking the other day. I think you could get away with this being your everyday watch. I really do. I really do think you could do that. Triforce Switch, the simplicity is a handmade work of art that belongs in a museum. The 002 is a very nice utilitarian piece. Then again, the simplicity will run $250K and the 02 $20-25K. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. Like I said, the simplicity is a great box watch, no question. But I don't know that it would be good for an everyday wear all the time watch. I'm not sure. I think this is better looking, to tell you the truth. So I think right there it trumps it. And I think this movement is probably superior as well for an everyday watch. Okay, Carlos is in the house. Craig, if you would see the 5196 on the flesh, you would have different opinion about the size and case side. Okay, there you go. I think I did see one at Steve's. I think I did see one. I thought that Patek that I saw there was a 51. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it might be fine. But again, I would still pick the 002. It wouldn't be a close call. I would definitely take the 002 at this day and age over the 5196. Knowing everything I know, I would definitely go with the 002. Craig, do you think GS should make the 002 with a champagne dial? No, this dial is stunning. They nailed it with this dial. Great contrast between the markers and the hands and the indices. Everything, there's just great contrast. It looks stunning. I don't think they could change a damn thing as far as the dial goes. I don't think they could change anything. And let's see here. I like the white. Yep, exactly. Patek AD themselves told me it is delicate and they have to send it in for service all the time because of little accidents. What reference did you need? Wow. If that's the case, I would definitely not buy one. That would scare me to death. I would not buy one if that's the case. I would pass on the delicate watch because I wear the hell out of my watches. I don't baby them. So that would not work for me. It'd be a good box watch, though. Let's see. I agree, Craig. The 002 can be an everyday watch. How often does someone go swimming anyways? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Absolutely not, Craig. It's not an everyday watch. You should Look up the movement. Quite stunning. Are you talking about the 5196? I'll take your word for it now. Seems like there's enough evidence at this point. I'll take your word for it. Carlos says, I still see the 002 like something in between date and 5196. Definitely for your use, 002 seems a better choice. Yeah, for heavy use, to actually wear the watch, absolutely. And Lance is in the house. The 002 is beautiful, but the gold case isn't ideal for daily use. It would look too fancy with many outfits. Maybe if it was steel. No way, Lance. No way. This thing looks gorgeous with anything. I could wear this with jeans and a polo shirt. It looks freaking gorgeous. Don't go with steel. Steel is for people that can't afford 18 karat yellow gold. You only buy steel when you can't afford the real thing. A gentleman's watch should always be 18 karat yellow gold. Always. The only time you go with steel is if you can't afford the 18 karat yellow gold. That's the rule on all that. Okay, Cheetown's in the house. Whenever I see the delicate 5196, I immediately picture John Cleese playing the French. I can't even pronounce that. You guys are too sophisticated for me. And the meaning for life, saying it's only a wafer thin, monsieur. Okay. There you go. No, the simplicity movement I meant. Oh, the simplicity movement's not heavy duty? It's fragile too? Well, that's not good. Yeah, I would pass on that too then. 5196 is made for use like Carlos for special occasions. It's perfect. Triforce Rich, there you go. The Pontiff himself wears a gold Patek with his shorts and stained shirts. There you go. Yeah, you can wear, absolutely you could wear, I think you can. I don't know. I still don't know if I buy that they're that fragile, but maybe they are. I agree. I purchased it for that. For daily use, I would have picked an 1815. Okay. Let's say daily elegant, says Carlos. Be a serve. You think he does anything in that watch? He can barely move. Andreas, Lance, a true gentleman, always wears gold. Absolutely. Absolutely. Positively. And yellow gold at that. I think it'd be a poor choice to go with anything else. I think that would be a mistake. A mistake in the house. So there you go. Okay. What time is it? Almost 5:30. I think Kent Courtney might call in to entertain. If he does, let me know. Let us know in the chat what song you would like him to perform. And by the way, I didn't see a ton of comments. I saw one about the Reverso. The Reverso was designed for polo players so they don't damage the watch. I think that's a good idea, to be able to reverse it so that when you're doing something that might damage the watch, you've reversed it, and that's like the backside of the watch. I think that's cool. I think that's a cool concept. And I think it's still thin enough to wear as a dress watch. I think it works. I think the whole thing works. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Time check while I yawn. Let's see here. Be a serve. You think he doesn't? Okay, I already read that. Okay, the Pontiff also wears his Casio and quartz Seiko when he goes out for walks. He babies them. Uh-oh. You can wear a gold dress watch with anything you like nowadays. It's not like the fashion police are on duty. Cheetown in the house. Well, and it's not like, most people would have a clue anyway. Most people are pretty clueless out there in the real world. They're pretty clueless. I don't think they would know that you were wearing something especially amazing. They can notice the 18 karat gold, though. People kind of can tell what that is usually, but a lot of them are pretty clueless just in general. There's a real problem with the public education system, with the government schools. There's a real problem with performance there. And Cheetown's in the house. Let's see. I already read that one. Ask him to do Biggie hypnotize. Okay, whatever that. Okay. Uh, there you go. Well, what do you guys have to say though? I mean, you didn't really talk about that many of his selections. You just kind of commented on a few of them there. What did you think overall about his selections, and what do you think about that one that he was wearing for a couple of years? That one there. I mean, that thing looks pretty freaking amazing. I guess they just loaned it to him for a couple of years, and I guess he had to give it back. So that's a shame that he didn't actually secure that watch, because that's pretty amazing. And let's see, Williams Watches says, hello, Craig and everyone. And you're a little late. You might want to watch the beginning, because we talked about this 15 most elegant watches video by Sartorial Talks and Hugo. And he did an excellent job, I think, for a non-watch guy. I think he did a very good job. And ask Kent if he knows good Acadian folks song. Okay, we'll ask him. And Triforce Rich says he has great choices, Craig. And let's see, the 21504 gold watches, in my opinion, have their place. My Movado is gold, but I wouldn't wear it every single day. Well, I mean, if it would hold up okay, there'd be no reason why you couldn't wear it. I would definitely wear that watch and get some use out of it. As long as it's in good shape and it runs good, why not? Watches were made to be worn. They really weren't made to be kept in boxes. And Williams Watches is in the house. Hey there, my friend. Triforce Rich says, by the way, the day date is coming tomorrow. Wow, Milgau's money came in and paid for the day date. Moves have been made. Whoa, Triforce Rich is in the house. Cool. I hope you're going to be able to Skype in and give us an update. And Vacheron 1921 should be in that list too. There you go. Yep. And absolutely, when he selected the Grand Seiko, he should have selected the 002 instead of the one that he selected. I definitely think he should have done that. But, he admits he's not a watch guy. He probably just went to their website and went to the Elegance section, and that's the first one he found, That's probably how that worked. Williams Watches is in the house. Thanks, Craig. I'll rewatch from the beginning at the end of the show. And let's see, congratulations, you are not going to sleep today. Purchase a... Okay. Yeah, he's going to be like... he'll be like checking every 2 minutes for the delivery, right? He'll be like glued to the window waiting for the delivery man to come. I wonder if the delivery service has that tracking where you can keep an eye where the truck is at all times, and you can know like when he's getting close. Triforce Rich is in the house. Maybe can't Skype in tomorrow, but I'll call in sometime this week or weekend. Okay, cool. Triforce Rich, that's great news. The day date is definitely one of the greatest watches ever made. There you go. Carlos, a 10:30 a.m. delivery, so yeah, I'm going to be anxious. Yeah, I guess so. I have, it's not a day date, but I have another timeless razor coming. I have the titanium model timeless razor coming. Right now I have the stainless steel one, I have the aluminum one, and I have the bronze one, and now I'm going to have the titanium timeless razor made in the United States of America. Same place this sport coat was made, United States of America. So, timeless razor. Avery's in the house. Hi, Steve. I'm planning to purchase an SBGN003, the GS Quartz GMT. Should I ever expect some form of a discount? Well, I'm not Steve. I'm Craig. I would definitely talk to Steve. Yes. See what kind of deal Steve can work for you. To make sure you tell him that you're a subscriber. LittleTreasury.com. There should be a link in the description on this video. I usually put a link there, but Steve at LittleTreasury.com, and I would definitely talk to him and see what kind of a deal he will give you on the GMT. It's the time to get deals. Absolutely. Hi, Craig. I'm shopping for an inexpensive mirrorless Sony. Is yours a mirrorless? And what? Yeah. Okay. So inexpensive. It depends on what you're looking to spend. I would get the A6600 with a kit lens and call it a day. But it's probably going to be $1,000. I don't know exactly what the price is going to be, but for a Sony mirrorless camera, I mean, yeah, you could get an A6000 for a heck of a deal, one of the older models, right? You get the previous models, you get them a lot cheaper. The A6000, the A6400, the A6500. The newest is the A6600, right? If you can swing it, I would get the A6600. There are a lot of advantages, especially the bigger battery. It has much better battery life. So if you can swing it, I would get the A6600. Okay. Carlos, you can view all Gumpala building course video. Okay. Build that thing. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Craig, can you give a little history on the sports coat? I really like it, especially the color. This is an oldie but a goodie. This thing is probably 30 years old. This was made by Oxford Clothes. You can see the roll. See the roll here? This has horsehair in here that causes that nice roll to the lapel. And it's nothing. It's just a sport coat by Oxford, OXXFORD. And this probably dates from about 1980, something like that. I wore this from time to time when I went out to the polo club and things like that. Something where, you wanted something a little bit flashier. It works for that. And I like the color too. And you probably aren't seeing the actual color because these cameras don't reproduce colors like this perfectly. But in person, it is a very, very attractive blue. And there's actually a very fine blue line in between the gold lines on this tie that is the light blue that you really can't see. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be picking up in this video. But yeah, it's a very comfortable. It's lightweight. You can wear this, like I say, and you wouldn't want to wear it in the absolute heat of summer, but you can wear it, in reasonable temperatures. It's not very, very heavyweight. I don't know if it's made of linen and wool. I don't know exactly what the fabric is. I would guess it's like a linen and wool, or maybe just linen. It might be 100% linen. It's hard to tell. My guess is it might be linen. But yeah, it's nice. Okay, all right. Kent Courtney is calling in. Let me make him full screen. Make him full screen here. Let me get my headset on. Okay, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat what you want Kent to play, what you want him to play, and let's see. Great. And I got a couple comments to catch up on here. Cheetown says, I wonder how well a titanium safety razor would perform. You usually want the weight of the razor to do the work. That's interesting, Cheetown, because I have the bronze unit from Timeless Razors. I have the stainless steel unit. Both have some heft to them, and I have the aluminum one. And everybody says they want the weight, but I found that I don't like the heavier ones. I like the lighter one because I'm less likely to cut myself, and I still get a great shave. So I guess to each their own. Some people like the heavier razor. When I got the aluminum one, I was surprised. I really liked it more. And now, of course, they have the titanium is on the way. It'll be here Friday, so I'll do a full review on that titanium stunner. That's from Timeless Razors. and those start at $225. So we'll have a review on that on the channel. All right. Anybody have a request a request for Kent? Let's see. I'm going to catch up here on see if there's any more. Maybe I should do that. Okay, Craig. Which double-edged blades do you currently have? I've been using Astra, and they've been working fine, and so I'm just sticking with those. And I think they're from Russia. Astra blades. They're dirt cheap, and they've been working fine. Let's see. Carlos talking about the Trumpy Bear. Triforce Rich says, Craig, did you know that Seiko came out with a limited edition Gundam watch with a spring drive and Zaratsu finishing? No, but that sounds cool. Williams Watches says, sounds sweet, buddy. Okay, and the lovely Brianna says, nice suit, Craig. Okay, she gives the okay symbol. And Triforce Rich said, I would have bought it if it wasn't so big, 44 mil. And Bree says hi to Kent. And
Well, hey.
Carlos says, I have read somewhere that Zaratsu finishing was invented as a kind of Gundam camouflage. Okay, and Lance says, I like the American flag shirt, Kent.
Hey, thank you.
And request Oklahoma home blowed away. No, some request my Oklahoma home blowed away. What is that? I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Okay. Kent, please sing Biggie Smalls Hypnotize. What is that?
There, you got me on that
Is
one,
that
too.
some kind of modern hip hop thing or something? Sounds like it. Williams Watches is in the house. How about a good Acadian tune? Acadian, Acadian, Acadian tune. What's that?
Oh, mais bien sûr. Je parle français et je chante en français aussi. Et je chante la chanson acadienne comme Agadi Denderhan.
Okay.
So I'll sing the song, The Wandering Canadian. This is a story of someone who sits down by the riverside and tells his friends, if you see my home country, please tell my people that I miss him. Now, Acadie is in Canada. That was the French part of Canada, the very eastern part of Canada. And many of those people were exiled by the colony of Massachusetts during the 7 Years' War, which was the French and Indian War. The colony of Massachusetts went up into Acadie, and they kicked out the people who were living there. Some went to New Jersey, some went to back to France, and some settled in the swamps of Louisiana, where I'm from. I'm from New Orleans myself. And, you know, people would ask them, where are you from? And they would go, Nous sommes Acadiens. And because they're from Acadie, right?
Yeah.
But then you speak English and say, Nous sommes Acadiens, then you say, oh, you're a Cajun. And that's where the term Cajun came from.
Okay, wow. Now, so they also ask about parcel of rogues. Can you play a parcel of rogues? Rogues. Parcel of rogues. What's that?
No, I don't know that one, but I could do some rogue songs.
Okay.
Let me do the Uncanny Denderhan.
Okay.
And this is for all those people who speak French out there. Un Canadien errant, banni des ses foyers. Un Canadien errant, banni des ses foyers. Vacheron ton plus grand des pays étrangers. Vacheron ton plus grand des pays étrangers. Si tu vois mon pays malheureux, si tu vois mon pays malheureux, va dire à mes amis que je me souviens d'eux. Va dire à mes amis que je me souviens d'eux.
Okay, all right. Somebody's asking about Edelweiss. Edelweiss. Yeah,
Edelweiss,
is asking about
Edelweiss.
that one. And another person is asking about something called Backdoor Man, a classic blues song, Backdoor Man. I'm not sure what that
Backdoor
is.
man.
And,
Man, these, yeah, I gotta learn some of these
and
ones. Of course, everybody, I think, sang Edelweiss in grammar school.
and Super Mario Bros. Theme, whatever that is. Whatever that is. Okay. Uh,
I think that's got to be one of those ones that goes boom, 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 boom.
yeah. Um, so let's see what else.
Hey,
That's
rolling back about a Rogue
mhm,
song.
mhm.
Somebody asked for a Rogue
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
What an Irish song, and this goes back to the days when the English were persecuting Ireland,
Hmm.
and it was pretty rough to make a living because the English were doing everything they could to starve the Irish. In fact, Black 47 was a time, very bad year, 1847, when well over 1 million Irish people died of starvation because of the deliberate policy of the British to kill off the Irish. And so one of the ways to make money was to be a rogue, to be a brigand on the highway. And so this song is exactly about that. You know, somebody who tries to rob a British colonel.
Okay.
As I was a walking up on Gilgary Mountain, I met with Colonel Mercer, and his money he was counting. I drew up me pistol and I rattled up me saber, saying, stand you and deliver, for I am the boldest saver, whack full of daddy-o, whack full of daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Money in my hand, it looked so sweet and jolly. I took it right straight home for to give to me Molly. She swore and she cursed that she never would deceive me. But the devil's into women, and you know they lie so easy. Whack full of daddy-o, whack full of daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went to me chambers to prepare myself for slumber, to dream of golden girls, but sure it was no wonder. But Molly took me cartridges, soaked them in the water, sent for Colonel Mercer and said, ready for the slaughter. Back full of daddy-o, back full of daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I woke next morning early, it was between 6 and 7. The guards were all around me in numbers odd and even. I flew to me pistols, but alas I was mistaken. I couldn't shoot wet powder, and a prisoner I was taken. Whack full of daddy-o, whack full of daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. They threw me into jail without judge or writing for robbing Colonel Mercer up on Gilgary Mountain. They didn't take me fists, so I knocked the sentry down, and I bid a fondue to that jail in Sligo town. Back full of daddy-o, back full of daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I'd like to find my brother, one who's in the army. I don't know where he's stationed, in Cork or in Killarney. Together would go roaming o'er the mountains of Kilkenny, and I swear he'd treat me fairer than any sporting Jenny. Back full of daddy-o, back full of daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. There's some that takes delight in their carriages a-rolling, some that takes delight in the hurling or the bowling, but I take delight in the juice of the barley, courting pretty maids in their numbers oh so early. Ring-a-ma-dum-a-now. Whack full of daddy-o, Quack full of daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
All right, there you go. And somebody's asking about America the Beautiful, and somebody else is asking, do you know any Leonard Cohen? And somebody's asking, ski ba pop ba dop pop by Scatman, Scatman. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you got me on that one. I'll have to look that
And
one up to see what it really.
we have a comment. Beautiful. What's this Irish Rogue song called again? What's that one called again?
It's called Kildare Mountain.
Kildare Mountain. Okay. All right.
And
What
it's,
about America the Beautiful? Do you do that one?
well, I can sure do that a cappella. And this is another one that goes back to elementary school days. In fact, can I get everybody to help me at home? Everybody sing along with this if I get all the words right, okay? For beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. Everybody, America, America, God shed his grace on me and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
There you go. Well done. And somebody asked about a song, a British song, Blow the Candles Out.
Oh, that is a great song. And ironically, I used to do that years ago with another, I used to work with another person who sang that song, and she did an absolutely beautiful job of it. It's more of a girl's song than a boy's song, but it's a gorgeous song. But I never memorized the words. I knew the guitar part, but it's I never did actually learn it because it is very much of a lady's song.
Now, somebody asked about an Irish Republican tunes. Is there any such
That
thing?
we can do, lads. Let's see. Let's do one about the rising of the moon.
Okay.
In 1798, the Irish had the Emmett insurrection, and this is when they're going to throw the British out.
Mhm.
They're going to chase them out of Ireland with 20-foot-long pikes, and they were going to stand shoulder to shoulder and push the British soldiers right out of Ireland. But it didn't get very far because the British were armed with the Brown Bess. Now, that was a musket that could fire accurately well over 50 yards, putting the Irish at a significant tactical disadvantage. But you may remember in the movie Far and Away, the old guys giving a musket to Tom Cruise saying, "Remember the rising of the moon, lad." Well, that rising of the moon is the code phrase, so it's passed around the valley to let everybody know it's time for the insurrection to begin. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Just hush a while and hush and listen, and his cheeks are all aglow. While there are orders from the captain, get you ready quick and soon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. At the old spot by the river, right well known to you and me. One word more for signal token, whistle up the martial tune. With your pike upon your shoulder, by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. With your pike upon your shoulder, by the rising of the moon. Up from many a mud-walled cabin, as we're watching through the night, many a manly heart was throbbing for the coming morning light. Murmurs ran around the valley like a banshee's lonely croon, and 1,000 pikes were flashing by the rising of the moon. by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. And 1,000 lights were flashing by the rising of the moon. There beside that singing river, that dark mass of men were seen. High above their shining weapons, on their own immortal green. Death to every foe and traitor, forward strike the martial boom. And our army fights for freedom by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. And our army fights for freedom by the rising of the moon. They fought for dear old Ireland, and cruel bitter was their fate. But with glorious pride and sorrow fills the name of 98. Yet thank God, while hearts are beating, each man bears a burning wound. We will follow in their footsteps by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. We will follow in their footsteps by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. We will follow in their footsteps by the rising of the moon.
All right, well done. Now somebody's asking one more song here, "The Vagabond," composed by Ralph Vaughan Williams. What's that?
The Vagabond. Boy, you got me on that one. I think I've heard of the name before, but I couldn't come up with the words or melody on that one.
Okay, so now the gentleman who we were talking about the watches, he wrote a couple of books. One, I think, The Parisian Gentleman, and one, I think, The Italian Gentleman. Two different books, right, about clothing, suits, shoes, shirts, all this
Sure.
high-end stuff, right? Any songs from either one of those areas, Italy or
Sure.
France?
Paris, I could.
Paris?
Yeah. In fact, Italian design was very famous. And in fact, it reminds me of the Velocetto, which was an Italian train. It was part of the Trans-Europe Express. It was one of the most modern-looking trains you've ever seen. It still hasn't been surpassed for modern design. So the Italians were right up there in design. And in Paris, too, you know, when you talk about Paris and fashion, well, it's a center of the fashion industry. And so here's a song that is one of my favorites, Ferrier. C'est une chanson qui me ressemble. Moi, tu m'aimais et je t'aimais. Nous vivions les deux ensemble. Toi qui m'aimais, moi qui t'aimais. Mais la vie sépare ceux qui s'aiment doucement, sans faire du bruit. Et la mer passe sur le sable, les pas des amants désunis. Falling leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I'll miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall.
That's a good one. Now that's Falling Leaves, right?
It is.
Yeah, that's a famous song. Now when does that date from?
Well, 1960s is when it came out in French.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally a French song, and many people did it. Yves Montand is one of the ones that we think of here in these United States. Another one is Nat King Cole had a magnificent rendition of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very popular song. A lot of people play.
Fantastic song. Yeah. Okay. So, Moon River, another request.
Ooh, that's another one I used to do many years ago.
And
But it's
Moon
not much.
River, that comes from Breakfast at Tiffany's, right? With
Oh
Audrey
yeah, yeah,
Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn.
And I think that's the song that she insisted that she sing it and that it be included in the movie because they wanted to cut it out of the movie. But
I think she did a magnificent rendition of it. I've got the DVD, and
yeah.
that's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. And I think that's also one of the best pieces of acting that Audrey Hepburn ever did.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it was fantastic. I'm glad they left it in. Okay, so that's your homework assignment. We need you to practice Moon River so you can perform it. Okay, all right, let's see what else we got here. We'll do one more because I'm getting hungry.
Me
And
too.
there's something called The Vagabond, composed by Ralph Vaughan Williams. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, we talked about that just a few moments ago. But
Okay,
yeah,
okay. And there's another one, Santa Lucia.
Sul mare lucida l'astro d'argento, placide l'onda prospera vento. Yeah, that. I wonder if I can get through all of that. I'm surprised I remember that many
There's
words.
another one, Michelle by the Beatles.
That's a great song too, but I don't have that one in my
And here's one, Linda Rose.
Linda Rose.
Lida, L-I-D, I'm sorry, L-I-D-A, Lida Rose.
Well, I know Love is a Rose.
Okay. And
This is a song by Neil Young that Linda Ronstadt covered. Neil Young wrote this in Hawaii. Love is a rose, but you better not pick it. Only grows when it's on the vine. Handful of thorns and you know you missed it. Lose your love when you say the word mine. I want to go to an old hoedown long ago in a western town. Pick me up if my feet are dragging. Give me a lift and I'll hay your wagon. Love is a rose, but you better not pick it. Only grows when it's on the vine. Handful of thorns and you know you missed it. Lose your love when you say the word mine. I want to see what's never been seen. I want to live that age-old dream. Come on, girl, let's go together. Let's take the best right now. Love is a rose, but you better not pick it. Only grows when it's on the vine. Handful of thorns and you know you missed it. Lose your love when you say the word mine.
well, there you go. All right. And somebody said Mancini music is great. I guess they're talking about Henry Mancini. Is that right?
Oh, Henry Mancini, sure. He's the one who did the soundtrack for Moon River.
Yeah.
He did a lot of great soundtracks. I think one of his most beautiful pieces is the Pennsylvania one that he did on the Molly Maguires. If you've ever seen the movie The Molly Maguires, Sean Connery was trying to break out of his James Bond role.
Yeah, I remember that.
Getting typecast. And so he put everything he had into the movie Molly Maguires. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous piece that Henry Mancini wrote. And it's also, I think, Sean Connery's best movie because it's there that he established the character that went on to be a standard stock character. It was in so many different movies.
Yeah, it was good. Okay, and there's another request here. You'll Never Walk Alone. Not sure.
Oh, that is a great song, and I don't do that.
Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. I do not like that. Oh, okay. What I want to hear most, Jimmy Buffett. Carlos is mentioning Jimmy Buffett.
Sure.
And is Kent a fan of early Elvis songs, like That's All Right?
Yes, yes on both of those. And let's squeeze in one Jimmy Buffett song before we go eat supper.
Okay.
This is one of my favorites of Jimmy's. Mother, Mother Ocean, I have heard you call. Wanted to sail upon your water since I was 3 feet tall. You've seen it all. You've seen it all. Watch the men who rowed you switch from sails to steam. In your belly you hold the treasure you have ever seen. Most of them dreams. Most of them dreams. Yes, I am a pirate, 200 years too late. Cannon don't thunder, there's nothing to plunder. I'm an over 40 victim of fate, arriving too late. Arriving too late. I've done a bit of smuggling, run my share of grabs. Paid enough money to buy Miami, but I kicked it away so fast. Never meant to last. Never meant to last. I go for younger women, lived with several a while. And though they ran away, they'll come back someday. But I sure can manage a smile. Just takes a while. Just takes a while. I have been drunk now for over 2 weeks. Passed out and around it, and I sprung a few leaks. But I gotta stop wishing. I gotta go fishing. I'm down to rock bottom again. Just a few friends. Just a few friends. Mother, Mother Ocean, after all these years I've found my occupational hazard being my occupation's just not around. Feel like I've drowned. Gonna hit uptown. Feel like I've drowned. Gonna hit uptown.
All right, well done. Now I have a quick question for you. What are you doing for audio right now?
Right now, I've got my face right up in the iPhone.
Okay, so you got the iPhone and you're just using the built-in mic, basically.
Right.
I wonder if you tried that interface gadget
I
and,
will do that.
and
But
just
believe it
see
or
what
not, in
happens.
this half hour or so that we did this, do you realize I'm on low battery? I can't believe it. Well, that Skype really eats up your battery.
Oh yeah, it does. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a hog. It's also a bandwidth hog. It'll use whatever bandwidth you have also.
Yeah.
So Kyle says Kent is great. Thank you, Kent, says Carlos. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. And next time, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Do you do that one?
I don't do that one.
Okay.
I have a whole lot of trouble singing that high.
Okay, gotcha.
Like a bridge over. You know, that's Art Garfunkel. You know, he nailed that song. Nobody else will ever do it.
I got you. All right. Well, fantastic. We will let you go before your battery's dead, and I'm going to wrap this puppy up, and I'm going to go eat something. I got to figure out what, but I'm going to eat something. And
maybe one of your delicious Tasty Bite concoctions.
There you go. Something. Absolutely. All right. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, thank you, Craig. And hey, everybody out there around the world.
KentCourtney.com. KentCourtney.com. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you are welcome, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. It's just like that. That's how easy it is to call into the show and to be on the show. Kent Courtney in the house. And final time check. We've been just over an hour. And we're going to wrap this puppy up. Carlos says, great show. And sweet potato time, absolutely. And I'm going to have some sweet potatoes, some black beans, and some avocado, and probably some egg. With it. And some hemp seeds on top, a little bit of mustard, of course, some vinegar. And that might do it. That might do the trick. So, folks, click subscribe and click the that little bell so you'll get notifications. Click that little bell so you'll get a notification. And we will try to do this again. Thanks for watching.